Hello, my friends. It is Bread or Silver or Koba or whatever you call me. I have a few little monikers. But here we are again. So I just was talking about my dog and talking about domestication and being I'm a bit here and there about it, or maybe here and there. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit harder to describe than that. Let me see if I can prop this up onto something. Don't worry, I'm gonna get a better setup soon that makes more sense, so that it'll be kind of more pleasant. It'll be on a more pleasant angle, easier to watch. So let's have a little run through. Make sure there's nothing in my nose. Anything in my nose? Not because I do drugs, but just because I just blew it. I don't do nothing like that. I have before, but I don't do that stuff. But anyways, okay, so, oh, right here. Let me take a gum out of my mouth. That's exceptionally rude and annoying. I won't edit this out. I'm mainly going to do stuff unedited. Okay, so, one thing I said I was going to talk about is kind of like, the more supreme idea of love is kind of like selon moi, based with me. It's kind of like if you love them, let them go, and it's like the idea that the aforementioned idea that if there's a flower, it's kind of nicer to go and water it than to go pick it, because by picking it you have sealed its fate, like you've intervened on it. You've changed. It's like you and its karma has changed, and all I mean, there's nothing superstitious about that. It's just you've changed it in your fate and how you'll act, and it'll leave an impression on you. It'll leave an impression on it to the degree an impression can be left on a flower. But yeah, just if you love them, let them go. Just in the sense of you. We go around, we go about living our lives, and imagine now someone is they like don't have parents and stuff like that, but they're a likable enough person that they might have to they have people that want to be around them and stuff like that. This almost crosses over into the because I just made a video about the domestication issue of animals and why I kind of want a cat, but I'm a little bit on the fence. Just like a cat would be on the fence, I'm the cat that's on the fence about other cats. Fuck, I'm stupid. Anyways, so it's just because you complicate things' lives, especially with humans. So it's like sometimes people want to be my friend, and I'm apprehensive just to let it begin, just because it's something that, okay, first it will inevitably end. Someone might be like, okay, your life inevitably ends, why wouldn't you just fucking kill yourself? No, it's not about that, but it's like sometimes it's not necessary to go and just you make extra things love you, and then it leaves an impression on them because they have this impression of you. It's influencing their lives. It's like because in the first verse of the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali is basically like, yoga is the cessation of the rippling of consciousness, and that's because we have these things cause ripples, and they leave, almost like imagine the mind, these things that leave ripples, and they affect our actions. Because in any given situation, we can act in a bunch of different ways, but the things that dictate them are these latent impressions that are, it's like, because I get up out of bed, and I understand that there's certain things I should do. It's like, I should probably go use the washroom, and I have the impulse too, but I should probably go use the washroom, maybe I should, wash my face a little bit. Maybe I should go have a little bite to eat, or at least I gotta drink some water. If I had dreams, I gotta go write down what I remember, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So all that's based on impressions that are these different levels. I have these different levels of conviction about what I think I should do, and this is everybody. Everybody has samskaras, which are latent impressions that dictate our karma, action. So there's nothing woo-woo about karma and the doctrine of karma, and there's nothing superstitious about it. It's real. Here, 1 second. I got the kettle boiling. I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, maybe I could say it better on another day. I feel kind of funny today. But anyways, say like imagine you're someone that doesn't really need a relationship. Like everyone knows this. It's like something you don't really need a relationship, but you humor someone and stuff like that, and like maybe you have some like encounters with them, so to speak, and you got them to like you a lot, and but maybe you don't totally reciprocate it, um, or even if you do reciprocate it, like it's this thing that's like it's gonna end, and it will have spent your energy and your time. And there's nothing nihilistic about this, by the way. It's just like a serious consideration. It'll take your energy and your time, and you'll wonder if, like, in the ultimate scheme of things, like, was that entirely like necessary? Did I have to like get something really attached to me, and then make it so that it's like now it has one more vulnerability? Like, I like the idea of oh shit, ouch. I like the idea of things being free of especially for me, like I want it to be less vulnerable if I have some control over it. I want you to be freer, like just from me being into philosophy, like I know that just language isn't good enough, so we're always dealing with these like fallacies that come with language, that because language isn't quite up to par, it doesn't quite have the aptitude or the ability to convey things totally properly. Like some might be like, I went to the zoo yesterday, and you can see that's true, and it is true, but like you went to the zoo and infinite little things happened. It's like, oh, a bug flew by your shoe and blah blah blah, blah, all this stuff happened. So you can be like, I went to the zoo, but it's like it's a half truth. It's like it's true enough, I should say. It's not that it's a half truth, like because it almost implies you're half lying, which isn't really the case so much. It's just like it's not up to par. The language ain't up to par. But anyway, so we let people kind of get attached to us, and some of these things aren't entirely necessary. Like it's I think as far as these half truths are concerned, and being a philosophical person, I find one of the only good things that we can do as humans is make someone suffer less, because we can see suffering. I seriously believe in dharma, because it's and the doctrine of suffering, like that our desires are causing us suffering, and it's good to take some away. Like if you take some away, it's a good thing. If you guide some, especially if you guide someone towards, like, it's not just like, there's also the teach a man to fish prospect. It's like you can also maybe teach someone about these doctrines, where they can learn, oh God, maybe I can do this stuff. Like maybe I can make me suffer less, and I can help others suffer less, and maybe I can be more responsible. But it's like I don't say it's like what's nice is it's like, oh, like we're in the middle of a desert. I love you so much. See ya. And like you leave them and you screw them over, do your shit. I'm not talking about something like that or anything. You know what I mean? But it's like yeah, it's the most sophisticated form of love is like allowing something to actually not like need you. Like something can happen and it can still be okay. And it can still go on and on and on. And like say you're someone that's like that. Like say there's people called householder yogis. It's more common in like serious ones. Sorry, they're more common in the ancient Indian subcontinent, or the current ancient Indian subcontinent, because it's not just India, it's like countries around it, but they have a similar culture, like the meat and bones part. Obviously there's Islam there, but I'm talking about the natural, the older stuff, that the Buddhism, the Buddhism, the Dharma, the Sanatana Dharma, maybe a bit the Jainism, but not so much that, but yes, that's there too. But anyways, if you love something, it's kind of like what's kind of better. It's like the flower, like to just like let it grow and let it do its thing, and you forgive it, like when you nip right in the bud, it's not gonna be perfect. Um, and it doesn't mean like, oh, end your relationship, oh, blah blah blah. But like for me, it's I'm not starting a lot of new ones, because Because I don't need people like I don't need extra people attached to me, and vice versa. Like I don't need more people that I'm like, shit, man, I really need to see that person now. And it's like, because it's almost like drug addictions. Like I'm gonna cleave myself onto more substances or more things like that. You know, sometimes it's better to just have this general, almost like not ham-fisted, because it almost not only implies hostility, but it just implies like one gesture, like one. But it's almost this very general, just I'm just gonna like almost float on air, just be nice and I'll love everyone first and foremost, like right from the beginning, and because that's a big question. What do you do when you love somebody? And a lot of us will make relationships and will foster them and keep them. But it's a very sophisticated thing in love to be able to leave, to be able to let something live. And, like, maybe you still help, or maybe you just, like, yeah, you go. But, it gets tangled in your life. Like, every one of our lives has a lot of novelty. It has a lot of complexities in it. And even if you're totally compatible and everything like that, and I'm not discouraging anyone from a relationship, you can still do it, but it's like you do realize how it's going to sow seeds that will eventually lead to suffering from the attachment. So it's kind of like, it's good to almost teach, like, say my mom, like I help her get used to the idea of me not being around, and it's not because I'm not gonna leave her, but just like imagine something ever did happen to me, I have to be like, oh mom, remember these? It's like these are just the songs I like if something happens to me, and like, and I love you so much, like, so you don't have to wonder, and you don't have to, and you did everything perfect, so you don't have to wonder. And it's like a kind of prime people, because to be ready to not be around me. It's not because I'm gonna I'd never kill myself, because it's just the biggest sin. But but I'm not shaming anyone who did it. My heart goes out to you. But it seems like it's a very sophisticated thing in love. By the way, when I use the word sophisticated, I use it often. I use it on this like almost like a scale of like there's sophistication, then there's primitivity. Like you can be kind of like more primitive, and it's about like just your feelings. Then there's sophistication, where it's like it accounts for that stuff, but then it uses all these inferences, and it uses the trivium. It takes all this information and applies sophisticated logic that's very scrutinous, and builds rhetoric that's like not biased. You seek to like not have confirmation bias, and you try to like it's an honest intellectual pursuit. Like I do that, and because I want to be right for everyone. I don't live my life for me. I specifically live it for other people, and I try to like maybe like squeeze a little bit of enjoyment out of it as well. Like I try to get a little bit for me, but especially because it really does. It's like it does make me feel good to make others suffer less, at least, or make them feel good maybe. But ultimately, it's good to make it so less people need you, and make it so someone can live without you, and so that if you die, they're not just totally ruined. You know what I mean? They aren't just as a friggin' mess. So you know what? It's a very sophisticated and very high spiritually elevated thing to kind of like let things go and kind of get things ready to like kind of let go of you, or they've already let go while you're still there. That's the best case scenario. That's like you having your cake and you're eating it too. They love you, and they love you as much as they could love you, but they're ready as but you can not be around, and they know everything's fine. But usually that takes more of a spiritual person, or see someone that's used psychedelics, where they've had an experience where they understand that like everyone's taken care of. Like it's hard to even tell you why or like how, I know, but everybody's taken care of. But in this life, while we're still living it, I like the prospect of letting less people suffer because of me. And it's very prime and like and center foreground consideration in how I undertake and how I do things. And there's definitely, and I was very social, very, very social before, but there's definitely now an element of like, yeah, like if you love them, let them go, or kind of get them ready for you to go. Not just because you're going to run away and then just be on your own, but it's like, it's because it's things get attached, and the attachment causes suffering. And the idea of just like, oh, an accident happens to me and it ruins someone's life. I mean, I can barely live with that in advance about that even being a prospect. I'm like, ooh. Like, it's not a big deal, guys. Like, don't need me too much, okay? Because everything's okay. I mean, it's to my most loved ones, because I don't mean, like, because this channel has friggin', like, no subscribers yet. I'm here, like, from, like, the scratch, you know, like, but, I do believe in the if you love them, kind of, like, let them go, but I'm not acting on, like, an old man yet. I can't just, like, run off to Mount Athos Monastery right now and just go, like, sing with these monks or something like that. It's not like that, because I consider myself at this point like a householder, yogi, spiritual person, but I am a Christian. Like, my savior is like Christ, and but I'm not like a regular, like, tuck in your pants, like, at church Christian. Like, when you think of a Christian, you don't imagine me, but, like, I'm, like, very, like, close to the real doctrine and, like, what it's actually saying, and I actually do that. And that's the reason it's like, I like, when I'd even explain to people, so this is a bit of a side note here, but when I'd even explain to people, like, I was like, oh, so where are you at now? Like, because I always develop, I never settle, ever. I gotta, like, and it's not this vain pursuit necessarily, it's just, like, I want to be, because knowledge is kind of like a tool, so I kind of want to be more knowledgeable for other people, because if I know less, it makes me less equipped to to be useful, to be helpful, and I'm indebted to those I love and to those I don't. I'm committed to the whole world, so that it's like I have to at least give a shot at being the best me, right? The shot. Doesn't mean I'm not beguiled and afflicted with problems, like, because I am, of course. But I have a different even take on them, because, and I handle them differently because of just the way my mind is. I mean, because of my, like, doctrinal understanding and belief in Buddhism, plus me being a Christian, me knowing everyone's taken care of, for both of those, like, have reasons to make you look at that. But for both of those have reasons to make you feel, oh, everyone's taken care of. But as well as the fact that, like, you know, I understand that I don't need I don't need to take, like, you know, I can suffer and I can have my problems, and I can kind of just deal with them very normally. It's like weird. The spiritual path kind of brings you full circle, and you're like, can kind of just handle it like a normal person, and I can suffer, and it's okay. Like, I'm not heaving and crying like a normal person, like a normal person might. Like, I'm actually fairly attached. Like, it's like, I think death, like, being a steward to death, like helping someone in their funerary rites, is an honor. I'm not afraid of that. Certain people are afraid of that. Certain people are deathly afraid of losing somebody. I mean, I can lose somebody and it'll break my heart. But and I'll think about them all the time. But it's like, there's like attribute about me where it's like I will understand it and have it be like, okay. Like, say one of my best friends, Cyrus Clark, he died, but I feel like there's no other way things could have happened, just because of the time started and then everything unfolded like dominoes. Like, someone pushed the dominoes and I was like, I got knocked over. So I think there was no other way it could have happened. So I know, and I also know Cyrus wouldn't want me just upset every day. But I think about him every day. And same thing with my nan. I think about her every day. I don't know, they wouldn't want me upset or anything. But it does a disservice to you to always be upset. Like, sometimes someone might say it's healthy, blah blah blah, but catharsis was proven as not being like real. Like, you won't just cry. Like, sometimes it feels good for certain people to cry, but you, like, won't, like, quantitatively, like, cry away that problem. You still gotta deal with it. So sometimes, like, suffering, like, it very much so does you, like, or being upset does you a disservice in handling the thing that originally made you upset. So that also applies to others. and you can be that for other people. Like, people can get hooked onto you and get attached to you, and then like you can make them happy and you can bring all this stuff to their life, but ultimately it's got to end at some point. And you got to wonder like how many of those you're going to take on, like how many people you're going to take on, and let them suffer, and like let them be around them, and like let them get attached to you. Like it, like now more than ever, or for the past years, I've been more exclusive. And it's not like this callous exclusion where I'm like, no, I'm not letting you in. But it's this type of thing where the door's like kind of more shut than before, because it's like I don't need like really close friends that would totally shatter me. I don't need more of them. I don't want to be shattered like that. And in fact, I'm not average in the sake that I actually can handle it. Like one of the worst people that could have passed on actually did, and I handle it exceptionally well. And I love him to death, and I trust him with it. I trust him with death, and the whole thing is that like when I think that could happen to me, I could die, and it would just haunt a lot of people and make them feel really bad. I wonder, it's like, why am I setting them up to be allowed to? Why am I permitting this to happen? You know, like why am I setting things up so someone could suffer a great deal? So anyways, that's me. Sorry if I kind of ramble, because I always go off script. There isn't really editing. And the closest thing to editing I do is I just put a video and add it. So there's no editing. Maybe I will later. But this is just kind of me talking and just saying some stuff, because people tend to kind of like want to hear what I want to say about some stuff. I went out on Facebook. I asked people to ask me questions that they wanted me to answer. And I didn't get many specific responses, but I got like, oh, you should just talk about what you want to talk about. So here's just a couple things came to my mind today. A lot of things run through my mind, but my mind's not like one of those internal monologues that's running. I almost have like this like more like the people that autism. Like I'm not autistic. I have this. I'm very emotionally there, and I understand people. Like I'm reading like a book. But like almost the way that savants, they like think in like just understandings and like shapes and colors, and it's hard to explain. Like I kind of think like that, and because of that, it makes for a weird situation, because I don't, so where I'm not scripting it, it's just kind of like all over. It's like this leads into this, and I'll kind of like say this, and I don't necessarily know what people want from me. And I don't know if anyone wants it at all, but I just figured, just like, oh, there's some thoughts I'm having, so I'll just put them there. Maybe someone wants to see it, maybe you don't. I just like you guys. I like people. I love people a lot. I love animals. I love the world. I feel greatly indebted to the world. I want to sacrifice myself to the world one day. I think that'll be very, very noble. I'd feel exceptionally good about that. But anyways, in the meantime, I just figured I'd give you some little gems, because here it is, Silver and Gems. That's my channel. Maybe I'm going to come with some interviews for you guys soon. If you guys have any requests, if there's any comments, just, put them down below, or just send them to me, message me. Like, at this point, we haven't gotten big enough. Hit me up on Facebook. Yeah. If you want me to talk about something, just general. It could be something related to like it's because remember, it'll all be personal. It'll be for me, so it's like, oh yeah, whether it's about Christianity. I was thinking maybe doing a video of how I justify being tattooed and being Christian. But just like, I'm into Buddhism, and I'm into Leia. I did a lot of Kundalini yoga. I meditate every day, pray every day. I'm very spiritual, but I'm also into exercise. I like food. Like studied a lot. I have opinions on culture and politics, stuff like that. And if people just have questions, I'll give you my like 2 cents. That's because I think I'm indebted to everybody. I feel like the world's done me, like dealt me a hand that's reasonably good. Like I'm not in a in some world where I live totally beguiled and tormented 24/7. So that's at least just some good thing right there. You know? So anyways, I figured I'd just offer that to you guys. That's a little bit on like why I think if you love them, let them go. It's just because it's just giving another you don't want someone, the idea of someone, imagine when you think of someone, you don't want all these extra compounded extra things that can make them suffer. You want someone being as close to free as possible. So that's ultimately why I believe in the, if you, it's a very sophisticated and high form of love to kind of like let them go. This doesn't mean get rid of all your relationships, but it's a consideration. Anyways, thanks so much guys. If you made it all the way through the video, that's really cool of you. If you liked it at all, like like and subscribe and maybe hit the notification bell because there's not that many. If you think I should do editing or if you think I should go on script so there's less like blah 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 like rambling, just let me know if you think that, because I'm up to taking what the viewers want. I wouldn't be saying this guys, it wasn't for just the idea. It's like, oh, maybe a few people watch it and they'll like it. So it is for you guys, it's not for me. So, yeah, if you have any recommendations or questions or requests or anything in the world, just put it in the comments. But yeah, and you know, if you like it, like and subscribe, put the notification bell there. It's cool. I probably know the people that are watching this so far. But anyways, thanks so much. Anyways, I'll put up another video relatively soon. See you guys. Thanks so much.